All right, here we go. So let's continue on with this lesson about objects. Okay. And one thing I didn't mention in my last video, but I'm going to mention it now before it's too late. When it comes to accessing data from an object, and you see we can use dot notation as well as bracket notation. Uh, the thing is, you want to be consistent. Okay, whatever method that you choose. Like I say, there's not a way. There's a way, but very little the ways, right? So pick one of them and stay consistent with it. And if for me, I like to use dot notation, which what that does for me, it helps me to reinforce the way I uh, create my properties. Okay, so my properties I'll use camel case if I have multiple words, no quotes around anything, and that for me that helps me to be consistent with my naming so that I can use dot notation as often as possible because I don't like to go have to break into bracket notation. It works just fine. Again, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. It's just a preference thing. It's a style thing. So I'm not pushing anybody one way or the other. If you want to use bracket notation, great. Um, if you want to use um, square dot notation, great. Choose one and stick with it. All right. So that's my spill on that. JavaScript, give me $1. Now let's talk about a special kind of property, and that's called a method. And we've seen these, we've been working with these quite a bit. Let's add this to the person object. Okay. So I'm going to say person.quote, and that is going to get a function. Oh, so we can write a function right here. I'm going to say var message gets, was it if you smell? Can you smell what the rock is cooking? I should put the little eyebrow emoji on here. All right, and then we'll console message and return. I could return message or just return, but I'll just return. I think here I'll just stick with this. I'll just return message. So what we've done here is we've added a method to our object. Okay. What is a method? We've talked about this before, brought up a couple times. What are methods? We're finally here. Methods are properties of an object that contain a function. Methods are able to access the data within the object and to complete a task. And we should be familiar with methods by now. We've seen methods thus far, just didn't really give name to it and talk about it. Like console.log, we've been using that quite a bit. I can't just type out log, right? I can't just say log. That's not going to do anything. I come here and it says uncaught reference error, log is not defined because my file doesn't know anything about log. What it does know about is console.log. It does know about this because log is a method. A method is a particular function that is attached to an object. So that's a big thing. Okay, that's the important thing. And I would say like the major difference between a function and a method. And I have a link here for the folks who have access to the slides where you can look it up and see what the difference between a method and a function, what difference is between methods and functions. But what you need to know is that a function, well, a method is a function that is attached or assigned to an object, like console.log, array.push, array.pop, string dot to lowercase. These are all methods because they are attached to a particular object. So what we can do with person.quote is we can actually call this function. So I wouldn't just say person.quote. That's not going to do anything, right? Just like with a regular function, I can't just type the name of the function, right? What I have to do is I have to instantiate it, make a call. So I need my quotes. So if I say person.quote, and now I get the message. I need to be a question mark. So now we see with our objects, okay, we can add, let's look at it. We can add strings, we can add numbers, we can add Boolean, we can pass in arrays, functions, we can do undefined and null. So let's make another object. What I want everyone to do is make an object of yourself. Okay, so let's see. Let's build an object of yourself. Object name can be your first name. Okay. Let's include these properties. F name, L name, age, hobbies, favorite food, is awesome. And say, and any other properties that you'd like. Okay. So I'm going to do one as well. Well, I want everybody to do this. Say var setch. Okay. So here I have simple object.
Do we need to make our own greeting?
Well, yeah, let's make your own greeting. Yes, you should. Let's talk about this greeting. Here I have, as you can see, with this object, I have, starting up here, I have a property, my name, and the value of it is an object. So you can store an object inside of an object like we have like I have here. And so the property, my name, contains an object with the properties F name, L name, and nickname. I have a number. Here I have an array. Another string. I have Boolean. Again, another object. And then I have a method. And inside this method, I have something that's kind of weird. I have something that says this dot my name dot F name and this dot my name dot L name. And so what is this? Right? I'm seeing this for the first time, and I want to know what this is. Oh, I need a console message. Let me finish this up. And a return message. There you go. This is a keyword, okay? And it acts like a pronoun, if you will. And it references whatever object that contains this keyword. In other words, right here where I'm saying this dot my name dot F name, this is referencing the object Satch. So when I'm saying this dot my name dot F name, I'm using this here as opposed to writing Satch dot my name dot F name, Satch dot my name dot L name. So this keyword again is simply a pronoun, and it references whichever object that contains it. So if I want to test this out, I could say Satch dot greeting and you can see here my name is Herbert Brown, but you can call me Satch. So it's looking up within the here in message. This keyword is looking up in the object for a property called my name and then F name. Pretty cool, huh? Also can be pretty confusing. But if you can understand that, whenever you see this keyword, just know that it is referencing whatever object that contains it.
So if you change this to Satch, can you find the object where it still works?
Let's find out. Yep, it still does. There's a reason why we use this, though. We'll look at that in a minute. But yeah, I could just use Satch right there.
But outside inside the object, you can't use this?
Correct.
Because, okay,
Correct. I can't in other words, I can't say console.log this dot my name dot f name. It doesn't know what this is. So just like I couldn't console hobbies, right? I had to say satch.hobbies. Okay. But this again, this is a pronoun that is used to reference whatever object that contains it. And so we'll here, like you mentioned, I could just say satch.myname.fname and it'll work just fine. But we're gonna see why we would rather we would use the this keyword. It's a good question. So yeah, with any of these, I can access the data all the same, but I wanted you to actually write a greeting, okay, or some kind of method that will return, some message. It could be your age or what have you. But here we go. Cool. I'm gonna stop this video right here, and then I'm gonna take a quick pivot because something that's very important that kind of goes into the this keyword and other things that I want to talk about. So I'm gonna stop this video here, and then we'll talk about scope. We're gonna take a pivot and talk about scope and what that means in the next video. So yeah, we'll stop here, like, share, comment, yada yada yada.